Hi, I'm Wendy.
And hi, I'm Phil, and we're part of the shift team at Burley.
We're in the middle of a major renovation of our house, alongside exploring our new shift theme, Extreme Makeover Heart Edition.
Welcome, welcome, welcome home.
Hello. 300 metres and 1,000 metres. Remember these numbers as I'll refer to them later on. We are coming to the end of this series, Extreme Makeover Heart Edition. And thankfully, we are also coming towards the end of our renovation. The end is in sight. We have booked a date in July for the removal men to bring our furniture out of storage, and means that we can finally move in. We are so thankful for all the workmen who have been here sometimes daily since we started on the renovation back in March, just 3 months ago. We're thankful for their skills and expertise, their friendship, their willingness to come and work in an empty, unheated, unlit house for so long. When you're able to watch workmen and the work they do, you not only appreciate their skill and their knowledge, but you're also amazed at what exactly goes into a house that, once plastered and painted and boxed in, are all hidden from view. How many pipes and wires does it take to run a house? Amazing amount. Look at them all. They just go on and on and on. Heating and lighting our houses. Amazing. 300 metres. That's approximately how much pipework is in our house. 300 metres of white flexi pipe, copper pipe, drainage pipework. Thankfully, we've had an expert to replace and lay all the pipes that will bring clean, fresh water into our house for drinking and washing. And it will take used water that we no longer need away. I cannot tell you how thrilled I was when I first turned on the new shower and stood under hot running water for the first time in months. It was heavenly and so refreshing. Just so that you know, we had been having showers, but shall we say they were somewhat lukewarm. Water is something that we take for granted. We turn on a tap and it's there. Over these last 3 months, as we've been living in the caravan, I have had to try and remember what it's like to have hot and cold running water and a flush toilet. Each evening we have needed to fill up the water tank that supplies the caravan using a hose pipe that is connected to our only tap, and that tap is actually outside. Each evening when I say we, I really mean Phil, empties the wastewater carrier, and every other day he does the job that no one wants. He empties the toilet. I am so grateful that he does these jobs, never once complaining, even when it's been raining. Thank you, Phil. 1,000 metres or 1 kilometre. If I were to walk 1 kilometre from our house or caravan to Burley, I would end up at church, our church, the Methodist Church in Burley. And that's the same distance as the length of all the electricity cables in our house. What an amazing amount of cabling to get connected to the electricity. At the beginning of our renovation, we had one plug socket to power everything. An extension cable allowed us to get power to the caravan, and then as workmen needed power for tools or light, then the other sockets in the extension cable were swapped around. Back in March, when the work started, our plumber needed to plug in a powerful light to be able to see what he was doing. But thankfully, as the days got lighter, that became unnecessary. Switching on the lights upstairs for the first time was so exciting. 3 months on, and last week I tested our new doorbell and our outside lights. The smallest things bring joy to me. Today, as the final radiator was hung on the walls, the heating was turned on to ensure that all was working well. Thankfully it was, no leaks. I hope I don't lose that sense of appreciation of all these firsts and the ability to flick a switch and have electricity, and turn a tap and have water. We have an Ethernet cable that stretches from the far side of the house, through a back window, over the garage roof, and into the caravan through a roof light, to allow us to watch television when we're not painting, and to enable us to have Wi-Fi and the internet in the caravan, which obviously allows us to continue working. Connecting to these vital power sources is so important in our lives, and I give thanks that we can connect so easily. Connecting to people during this lockdown period has been another important aspect of our daily lives. Keeping connected to family and friends and work colleagues has lifted spirits on days when it's been hard to focus, hard to visualise an end date. I guess most of us connecting with our family and friends on a regular basis has given us a real surge and a feeling of life is going to be okay and we can get through this together. Phil and I have lived, cooked, eaten, slept and worked together 24/7 for 108 days in a space no more than 13 foot long, that's 4 metres, and 6.5 feet wide, that's just over 2 metres, in our caravan. Probably smaller than most of the rooms in your house where you're watching this recording. So many people have been amazed and have asked us how we've managed to stay so calm, stayed so positive, still smiling, still be friends and not have fallen out with each other. I don't know is my answer, but perhaps it's because we have a strong connection together. We have been together for 26 years and will celebrate our silver wedding anniversary next February. We have been through so much together, brought 2 families together, brought up 4 children, all now adults who are all wonderful human beings, lovely people. Moved to and lived in another country, set up 2 businesses, changed jobs a number of times. We've both been out of work for a time. We've moved house 4 times, dealt with bereavement of close family, suffered loss. But through everything, there has been one constant, and probably the main reason we connect so well, and that is our faith in God. My heart is full to bursting with thankfulness that my God has been there through the good and the bad, carried me when times have been tough, and celebrated with me during the good times. My connection to God has definitely strengthened over the last 9 years since we returned from France, and he showed us our path to serve him. I cannot deny that at times we have felt challenged, and at times felt like challenging God. Is this really what you want us to do? Is this really what you want for us? During this lockdown period and during our renovation, we have daily felt renewed and refreshed by God's overwhelming power in the face of adversity. Because we are working from home, it has enabled us to project manage the renovations, be available to workmen when having to make decisions. For example, where do you want the plug sockets on this wall? It has enabled us to work on the house as soon as the work laptops were put away at 5 o'clock in the evening and no long commute home. It's enabled us to not have to wake up at 6 o'clock to drive to work. So we get up feeling far more refreshed. God's hand has been in everything. From the great weather we had at the beginning, to providing the different workmen, for being here to project manage, for getting us through the pinch points in sourcing materials. Everything. I still actually pinch myself that this house is ours, that we own it, and we can look forward to living in it very soon, and then turning our attention to developing the garden. For us, gardening is a source of relaxation and refreshment, and I definitely feel the presence of God when I'm working in His creation. This morning I prayed that our positive attitudes, our interactions with our workmen, with our new neighbours, will be a source of evangelism. We talk openly about the work we do for Christians Against Poverty, about our connections to church and our church family, about our faith. I pray that our neighbours and the different workmen that have been here will ask the question, how do they keep going, living and working in the caravan, and then working on the house every spare moment? Our answer? The power that comes from God. How are they still smiling after 108 days living in a caravan? The power of God. In the Bible, in the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, Matthew tells us that Jesus says to everyone, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." The Message version of the Bible puts it like this: Are you tired, worn out, burned out? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. How wonderful is that? In this lockdown time, our rhythms have been put out of line with everything. We've probably tried to find our own rhythms, and now find ourselves in a new change rhythm. Whatever rhythms we find ourselves in, God will replenish us. He will refresh us. And that does mean everyone can come to Him for rest. Refreshment means restoring strength, energy and vigour. It means sleep, rest or exercise. It means nourishment in the way of food for our bodies. It means refreshing our hearts by bringing love, forgiveness and reconciliation everywhere we go. The way to grow in understanding that all good things we have in Jesus is to be active in sharing our faith. For me, times of refreshing come from being in the presence of the Lord, and we can receive this refreshment every day. Every day is a new day, a new beginning, a fresh start. Every day we can seek Him, wait for Him quietly, and be refreshed with His presence. We can sing songs of worship. We can sit quietly. We can marvel at His creation. We can sit in sunshine. We can splash in the rain. We can give thanks and connect to God, who brings us hope and a future. He is ever present, always with us and faithful to us, even though we might not always be faithful to him. How good is that? A very familiar passage from the Bible is a constant reminder that God is our fuel. God is our power source. God gives us nourishment and refreshment. Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Whatever you are feeling, however busy or tired or run down you might be, if you're feeling anxious, worried, or you're feeling on top of the world, I pray that you can stop and take some time away from the busyness, away from the concerns you have for the future, to sit quietly, to listen to some worship music, but be still, be open to hear from God, be open to just sit and listen. Pray to God for refreshment and restoration. Thank you, and God bless you all.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up till I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire. In darkest nights, you are close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. I will sing of the goodness of God. I will sing of the goodness of God.